Hey, it's Phil with another Napoleon Hill story. This one is called What I Would Do If I Had $1 Million, and it's from the chapter in Think and Grow Rich on imagination. And what this is a story about a clergyman and an educator whose name was Frank Gonzalez. When he was in college and then later as a teacher, he saw the need for a school that could teach people practical things as well as feed their mind. So this was an idea that had been ruminating in his mind for several years. He never really acted on it. He did figure out that to start such a school, he would need $1 million. So he was kind of focused on the idea of the $1 million for several years, as I just mentioned. Then finally he got to the point where he made a decision that he was going to get the $1 million. So he published on a Friday and a Saturday, in the newspaper that he was going to preach a sermon the following Sunday on how can I get $1 million and what I would do with $1 million. So he worked on his sermon feverishly until late, it was about midnight Saturday night, the night before. Got a few hours sleep, got up that morning, practiced this sermon again, and then ran off to church. And when he got to his pulpit just before he began to preach, he realized that he had forgotten his sermon, his notes, and left them at his house. So it was too late to do anything, so he just kind of closed his eyes and went off the cuff, as we say. Basically, he led it up to his unconscious and to God as he spoke. And he told in a very elaborate plan of an institution, a college, a school that he wanted to start that would teach people and students just how to use their hands and to develop themselves in trade. So at the end of the sermon, basically, all of a sudden, a gentleman walked up to him, introduced himself, and said that his name was Philip Armour, and asked him to come by the office the next morning because he was going to give him a check for $1 million. So, amazingly enough, Mr. Gonzalez went by the next day, and Mr. Armour did give him a check for $1 million. And they started the Armour Institute of Technology, which now exists to this day, but it's now called the Illinois Institute of Technology. So what we see here in this story is the importance of a definiteness of purpose, which Mr. Gonzalez definitely had, but at the point at which he made a decision, that was the real turning point, and took action on his plan. Napoleon Hill describes it this way in the chapter again on imagination, as I said. Observe this important fact. He got the money within 36 hours of reaching a definite decision in his own mind to get it, and deciding upon a definite plan for getting it. God seems to throw himself on the side of people who know exactly what they want if they are determined to get just that. If you are one of those who believe that hard work and honesty alone will bring riches, perish the thought. It is not true. Riches, when they come in huge quantities, are never the result of hard work. Riches come, if they come at all, in response to definite demands based upon the application of definite principles and not by chance or luck. So I find that's a great, compelling story, and I invite you actually to join me in my mission to empower other people to become financially free. And if you'd be interested in joining me and my prosperity team in this mission, then you can click the link below and you'll get information on how to do that. Also included below is some information on the daily mindset call, the Think and Grow Rich mindset call, every Monday through Friday, which 400 more or so entrepreneurs participate in, and we study and practice the philosophy of Napoleon Hill as written in Think and Grow Rich, and we mastermind as well. So with that, see you next time with another story, no doubt.